If you never have something, it's not so bad to live without it. But if you have something, and then to lose it, very difficult. Very, very difficult. Even in this material world. Srila Prabhupada gives us the story of one high court magistrate who worked for the British government. And he was making so many thousands and thousands of rupees every month. In those days, that was a lot. He was an extremely wealthy man. But Gandhi's movement of non-participation and non-cooperation with the British, being a Hindu man, he was socially forced to give up his job for the British and accept just a common man's job. And he was getting paid enough to live nicely. But he was accustomed to such a luxurious life. When you become addicted to something, when you become conditioned to something, when you become spoiled by that attachment, then it's more painful than death to have to live without it. Prabhupada explains, within a few months, he died because he was in so much anxiety for not having what he was accustomed to have. But the poor people, they don't die without it because they never had it, right? They live long lives. So therefore, it's better not to have anything than to get attached to it, because then when you lose it, you can't live without it. Your life is completely terrible. And that's why in Vedic culture, in the Varnashram system, before taking to the Grihastha ashram, you're supposed to be trained for 20 years as a brahmachari. At the age of 5, you're sent to the ashram of your Gurudev, and then for the next 20 years, you're trained to only eat when you're given food. And if you're not given food, you do not eat. And that food is very simple. And you collect wood in the forest, and you wash the floors, and you clean the vessels, and you massage your Gurudev's lotus feet, and you're just a brahmachari. You do whatever you're told, you sleep on the floor, you wear just a simple piece of cloth, you go out and beg on behalf of your Guru Maharaj. You're trained and accustomed to having nothing, to just be satisfied with the simplest gifts of God and be grateful for it. And then you're qualified to enter into the Grihastha ashram. And then when you become a Grihastha, you may become very wealthy, very, very, very powerful, and you may have a big, big palace, and you may have so much money and so many luxuries and conveniences, but because of your previous training, you just use it in Krishna's service. You're really not attached to it. You're satisfied with or without it. If everything crumbles down and you have nothing, everything's all right. I'm used to it. And if you gain more, you'll use it for Krishna. You're already accustomed to tasting the sweetness of simple life. This is Vedic culture. Human civilization is a civilization where everyone is striving for more and more detachment, whether they are brahmacharis, grihastas, vanaprasthas, or sannyasis. Everyone, their goal in life is to become more and more and more detached. Yanisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagrati samyame yasyam jagarati bhutani shanisha pashyuto mune. Krishna says, but what is day for the enlightened soul, for the devotee, is night for the materialist. Because material civilization is just the opposite. People are working so hard to acquire more and more and more things to become attached to. What is the saying? Spare the rod and spoil the child. When a child is spoiled, what does that mean? Spoiled means ruined. When a child is accustomed to just getting so many things so easy and having so many conveniences and so many luxuries and so many everythings, the child becomes spoiled because he becomes so attached and so addicted to having his way or her way. When the child grows up a little, the mother and father are not going to be there to give him everything he or she wants. And when he doesn't get it, he's going to be completely miserable, frustrated, and anxiety, and he'll never be happy in life. To teach a child to be content with or without anything, to not be attached, is true virtue in life.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on devotionalnectar.com.